Hey minions, Princess Sarissa here. We last left off, RASAR and his friends had just left the ship's graveyard. We found this map. To the southwest there's a little white dot flashing. All the white dots are towns or locations that we can visit. And the cross indicates our location on the map. So we're heading to this new town. On the way we can encounter 3 different enemies. The first one here is the Gatling there. None of the enemies in this area are very, very difficult. They'll pose no problem to our monks. So, now just make our way down, just hug the coast, and eventually come down to this town that's sitting on the water. Got another back attack here, but there's our second enemy that we want to meet, the Bighorn. So, he's the big bull in the background, so. As you can see, we not doing a lot of damage when we're in the back row. Remember, your damage is half when you're in the back row, but the damage that you take is also halved, so we'll be taking less damage, but we'll just move RASAR to the front and move Gallup up there too, so. Look at that, 3 counter, taking out that, so now that they're out of the way, we can show the stats for the Bighorn here. Seal and drop some potions, so we'll be able to get a little bit of an upgrade here for armor coming up in this town. For the most part, monks are pretty cheap, you know, because they're not required to use weapons. So, we're going to use most of the money that we've been building up so far to start buying some status curing items. So eventually some monsters are going to start using status effects. So, no, we're not really ghosts. So, here's our inn. Nothing in there. We don't got anything up here in this stairwell. Nope, nothing there either. Nothing in these pots, so. We could stay at the inn here if we want, but we could probably just pitch a tent later on, because we didn't really take much damage going to this town. That guy's run away. Purple flowers on the bloom on North Mountain are poisonous. Keep that in mind, because that's our next dungeon, so. 50 years ago, most of the Windrakes were killed in the war. The one in Tycoon is the only one left. That's the one that King Tycoon must have been riding. So, as you can see, none of these weapons we can use, because, you know, we're monks. And we won't get our next class for a little bit, so there's no point in buying weapons and stuff for that upcoming class. So here we can get a little bit more defense. We can get the copper plate. We'll get 4 of them. As you can see, you can buy multiples of items. So we can just sell some of this equipment. We won't need the bronze, like the weapons or the armor. And we can just give our guys just a little bit more defense, because when the boss is coming up, has some is pretty physical. So that little bit of defense is definitely going to help. So we're also going to have to try to find Fris some relics. She's still doesn't have much defensive equipment on her. Magic shop, not useful for us, but right here, if you do have a magic thing, you can see that we're starting to get a little bit more. Sleep is a level 2 black magic spell, and we get some new white magic spells as well. So if you're using a white or black mage, you can start picking up the level spells. The more expensive the spell, the higher the level is, so. Well, oh yeah, well. Guess with the wind dead, you can't really get anything. Now that guy there, he's blocking some crates in the background. We're going to have to come back here much later in the game. There's a treasure back there hidden. So, if you're going for that 100% treasure completion, you're going to have to come back here and not forget, so. There's actually a few treasures like that where you can't get them on your first time through a location. Now here's an interesting thing. You want to go down between these crates and just kind of work your way down. It's a little tough to do, but because the pathway is hidden by that overhang, but eventually you'll just bump around and you'll make your way down. You'll find a frost rod, and that can be used to one-shot the boss coming up, but we can't use a rod because none of our characters are magicians. But this lady is the lady we need to talk to kind of advance the plot. And she's basically going to tell us that her husband, who's hanging out in the pub, thinks he saw a winddrake, but most people don't believe it, because like that one old man on the left said, all the windrakes except for one were wiped out in a war 50 years ago. So, well, let's go to the pub. We can talk with, try to find that person. We can go around the pub here, but there's no treasure or anything back here. But keep in mind, in some future towns, you'll be able to walk behind buildings and get into secret locations in them. So, we have piano number 2 up there. There's another person telling us about the poison grass up on the North Mountain. And we'll see that when we get to there, so that's going to be our next dungeon. So, it's not a dungeon like it's underground, but it's dungeon in the sense that it's a, you know, it's a kind of zoomed in area on the map that we have to go and we find treasure and fight a bunch of monsters in, so. He talks about a knight ability there, two-handed. If you have a knight in your party, you want to try to learn the two-handed ability, because that allows the knight to hold a sword with both hands, and it basically doubles the damage they do. So, if you have a knight in your party, try to learn that ability and equip it on the knight. So, we found a bunch of money in that thing. And this guy, he doesn't like his mother-in-law, obviously. He wishes a meteorite fell on her. Wow, she must be really mean. Well, maybe he's really mean, because wishing a meteorite to fall on her. We don't know. We'll never find out who's the meaner of the two. But we are going to find out a little bit about the winddrake. So we head up to the upstairs here, and here's the husband of the lady who talks about seeing the winddrake. And based on his description, Leonard can kind of deduce that it must be my dad's winddrake. But that's not necessarily good news, because apparently there's grass on the thing that heals the wounds, and it would only fly there if it was injured. So we better get there to make sure that it's okay. You know, there might be somebody trying to hunt it, like that one person down in the bar said, the pub, that with the dragon grass and a Hiryu, if they're around up there, both can fetch a lot of money. So it's like poachers in the real world. So they're not very good people. But hey, let's go buy some of those healing items. So antidotes cure poison. Eye drops cure the darkness spell. And the darkness spell, unlike Final Fantasy 1, actually works. It decreases your accuracy, your attack accuracy, which is really important for our monks, because they're totally dependent on physicals. So, Maiden Kiss restores a frog. Gold Needles cures petrification. Mallets, if you get minied or turn into a little person, you have to use a mallet to move them up. I don't know how that makes sense, but that's what it does. So, and that, we pretty much spent most of our money. We can buy just the rest of our few more potions, so just to top up our supply. So eventually we're going to try to get 99 potions. So it'll be like the Marsh Cave in Final Fantasy 1. Don't go there unless you have 99 potions, but we'll be okay for a while. Eventually our monks will learn an ability. Well, let's first talk about, once again, Rabbit and Small Animal Rescue, who we're playing this thing for. So we're going to check up on the Hiryu, check to see if it's okay. Well, the volunteers and the staff at Rabbit and Small Animal Rescue, they check up on real-life animals that are in bad, neglected situations and take care of them. So, and we just learned a second ability there, barehanded. It's not really useful for the monk, because the monk already has it. It's an innate ability. But like for another class, so like in for instance, our next class that we're going to get is a wizard class, a summoner class. And summoners tend to be weak physically. So, you know, they don't have good weapons, so we can give them the barehanded ability we learned from the monk, and then they can punch as hard as a monk. So, there's our last, third last enemy that we can encounter on the overworld there, the Tatua. So, it'd be nice if we... Yeah, now Ferris, because she was one battle behind, because she didn't participate in the beginner house battle in Tool. So, she just learned that barehanded. Like I said, the monk has that ability innate, but like I said, if we change classes, we can add that monk's ability to fight barehanded to a different class. So it might be useful, like I said, on our summoner, because we have 4 type of enemies in here. We have the Galacat, which in future games they call the Cave Sith. It's like I think it's an Irish fortune type cat. So, I think that's what I've heard. So, nothing too difficult here. Like I said, our monks are pretty powerful. They're going to get even more powerful at level 10 because of the damage formula that monks use. The monks' attack power is kind of their level. One part of the equation is their level divided by 4. So, here we got another new enemy, the Rock Slug. But getting back to the monk, the actual damage calculation is 3 plus level times 2 plus the level times 2 divided by 8 a second time. So, and the way that the game works is if you have a non-whole number, you'll get, it rounds it up, or it will round it up or down if it's 0.5 or above. So for instance, at level 8 will be 8 times 2 divided by 8 will be 2. But then at 9 it'll be 8. It'll be 18 divided by 8, so it'll be 2.25. But then when we hit level 10, it'll be 2.5, so that 2.5 will round up to 3. So basically every 4 levels we'll be getting a new attack, additional bonus to our attacks. So that's basically every level at 6, 10, 14, and so forth on every 4. So we're getting close to level 10 here, so that'll be good. It'll be really good for a future boss, not this next boss coming up, but we do have a physical boss, and another attack multiplier would really definitely help out. So we got some pretty high encounter rates here, so it's a good thing our monks are pretty strong. Sadly though, we don't have a good healing, but the monks will eventually learn an ability called Chakra, which is a self-heal, and it can also remove some negative status effects. I believe it can move poison and dark. And we only have one more enemy left to encounter here, one more new enemy. But first we're going to encounter these, remember the purple flowers they said are poisonous, not to touch them. So just be very careful when you're walking around here, and don't step on any tiles with the poison flowers, because then your characters will get poisoned and you'll lose some hit points. So, and there's our final new enemy there, the cockatrice. They're known for stoning characters, so it's a good thing that if you have a thief, you can steal free gold needles off of them, because the gold needles cures the stone status. Ooh, level 9, one more, and we'll, I was looking to see how close we are to getting that, but we're definitely not going to be able to get it in time for this next boss. And speaking of bosses, one of the challenges in this game is a low-level playthrough where you just avoid gaining levels. And one of the reasons why you can do that is because bosses, if you've been noticing when I put their stats on the screen, bosses never give experience points. So yeah, if you run from all the regular normal encounters, you can basically almost go through the game without gaining any experience. There's a few forced encounters that do give experience, but they're very minor. So. And here's Lena's father's helmet. So Now the interesting thing is, we picked up that helmet. It's a mithril helmet, and even though it doesn't say it, that mithril helmet will appear in our inventory, and it's a good item for your knight. So, and hey, just like that one person in the pub said, hunters may be after the dragon grass and the windrake because they can fetch a hard price. And lo and behold, there's some lady there. She's hunting the windrake. Magissa. But she poisoned Lena there. And we'll see that when we start the battle here with Magissa. Lena will actually be poisoned, so they actually incorporate what happened in the cutscene actually into the battle. So, now this is a two-part boss. If you have a magic using class, the white wizard, the black wizard, the black wizard or the blue mage, they can both use the rod and break it. You use the rod as an item, double tap it, and it casts a level 3 elemental spell. And that can take out Magissa in one hit. And if you do that, she won't summon her husband here, Forza. But, well, now Forza, this is where that extra bonus defense that we got from the copper plate is going to help out, because as you can see, Forza hits really, really hard. So, and you want to try to keep your hit points maybe above like 140. If you are below that, just have 2 people throw a potion. Luckily, Forza is kind of slow. This is where focus is really coming in handy. Focus also works with the counterattack, so if we are focused and then we get counterattacked, and we counterattack, yeah, the focus will still work with it, so we get some really good extra damage there. So we got quite a few critical hits there, and with that, we've taken out the husband and wife hunter team, and we get a power drink, which we can't use. That's a chemist exclusive item, unless you get the drink command from the chemist, but we can't get that. You had chemist on our last forge off Fiesta. And the whip, which is a pretty good item, which if you're using the freelancer class, it basically makes the next boss a pushover. So, but it turns out that the dragon did come up here and he's hurt, but he can't reach that grass. So Lena's actually taking it upon herself. She's actually poisoning herself so that she can get the grass to heal the animal that's hurt. So what a nice noble lady making that nice sacrifice. But it's it won't be in vain, because she'll be healed up. We can give her an antidote, but instead of giving her an antidote, the Hiryu here is just going to give her a nice little lick, and he'll cure the poison out of her. So, aw, good boy. I know when my licks, they don't cure poison, but sometimes I do give my daddy kisses. Yeah, I'll give him some kisses, but just to show love, It's like me, rats. We kiss our owners and other rats. It's our way of grooming each other. Yeah. So if you ever pet a rat and starts like licking your fingers and stuff, he's just basically grooming you. He's like saying, or he or she is saying like, hey, you're pretty cool. You want to be my friend? And he's like giving you a little bath. He or she's giving you a bath. So now we can take to the skies. Woohoo! Unfortunately, the Hiryu can't fly over mountains, but it can fly over that. It can fly over the water, and it can also fly over the meteorites. So technically, we could go back to Tycoon Castle right now, but we'll do that a little bit later. Because right now, the plot is kind of demanding that we go to Walse here to try to stop the water crystal. So we're gonna play it like hey, we need to get there real quick. So, and he talks about the water crystal being in a tower up to the north. Remember when the wind crystal shattered? They showed where all the crystals, the other 3 crystals, were located in the wall. And there's that one light that came out of that one tower. Well, we're going to see that tower in just a little bit. So, well, we want to come into here because we get glasses. And the glasses are a relic. They give some defense, but actually it's the first relic that we can get that actually has an extra bonus. The leather shoes just give some defense. The glasses give defense, but they also will protect whoever is wearing them from the dark status. So you can't really be blinded when you're wearing glasses. So. And we can buy finally some antidotes. We couldn't afford them in the last town, so... Well, we couldn't afford a lot of them, so... But we'll stay in the inn here, so... Because we took a little bit of damage there from that the Forza Magissa fight. And we don't have too much time to rest before we go to our next dungeon, so... I'm just gonna... But we do have some time to just explore the town here. So, the crystal's kept in the Tower of Walse. So, we knew that because that's where the game showed us. And there's a little hole here by the trees. We can sneak down through here. And we can talk with this girl and the gorilla. So, that's an enemy that we can encounter. On the outside, but if we encounter it on the outside, like the girl says, it's shy and it don't really attack. It just basically stands there. So for like, and it doesn't give any experience. So for like low-level games, sometimes people will farm that to gain ability points. So they'll still be able to learn job skills, but they won't gain experience to gain levels. And even though we don't have a magic user right now, we got some new magic that we will be able to use shortly. The gray with the little clock hands on it, that's time magic. And that basically like buffs your allies. The time mage is a buffer, support type mage. And then we also get the summoner, which can be a support and an attacking type mage, depending on the type of summon that we got. So we got the first level 1 summons, the first 3 level 1 summons. Well, all the level 1 summons. And we also want to get some karate gis here, so we get 1 for every single person. We'll sell that copper plate. Yeah, we kind of, I guess you could say, wasted money buying it, but at the same time, it did help us in that battle with Forza, and we don't have much to spend our money on anyway. So, we can sell that helmet, we won't need it. We won't be able to use the whip, or the power drink, so we can get rid of that. But anyway, so that we can help to afford the remaining 2 Kempo gis we need for all our characters. But as I was saying back with the summoner, we got the first the 3 summons, the level 1 summons. We got Chocobo, which is an offensive thing. It's just we summon a Chocobo like Boko. He comes out and he kicks an enemy. We have Remora, which is like a fish that comes out and it basically paralyzes an enemy. And then we have the Sylph, which is kind of direct damage healing. It comes and steals some hit points, drains hit points out of the enemy, and then gives that to your party. So, don't have anything we can use there, but another class, if you had it coming up, a Berserker class, they can use axes and hammers. So, if that's a class that you have running there, you might want to buy an axe there. So, let's over to the. Let's finish off this episode here by walking into the Castle Walse and just letting the king know about the dangers that the crystal that is providing all this lush water to his kingdom is in danger. So, welcome to Castle Walse. This is a pretty interesting castle. There's a lot of like hidden passages and stairways to go around in. It can be kind of confusing, but for now we're just going to head straight to the king's room. So, and that's of course, this guy tells us that there's a lot of treasure underneath here. But one of the treasure rooms is guarded by a really powerful monster that we won't be able to like really do much against. So we're just going to ignore most of the treasure for now. We're just going to head right up to King Walse and We gotta tell him all about the danger that his crystal's in. So I wonder how he's gonna take the news that. Okay, let's see. Oh no, he's not believing us. But you gotta. If the crystal breaks, like we said earlier, it'll cease the water to flow. It'll become stagnant. People won't be able to drink it, and crops will die. Come on, you gotta think. You know, for the future, buddy. Can't just live in the now. So, but it looks like we're not being able to persuade him. So, yeah, maybe RASAR can talk him into it. Uh-oh, what's this? Yeah, when the screen turns red, you know something bad's happening. Holy moly, what's going on? Let's see. Oh, it's another meteor. That's the third one, remember? One hit Tycoon. And then in Tool, someone said one hit west of Tool. So there's two. There's a third one. Uh-oh. Lucky it didn't hit the tower. But apparently it fell near the tower. And enough that it's causing the king to panic. And he's gonna run off and go investigate. Maybe we should follow him too, but that'll have to wait for next time, minions. So take care. Until next time, let's close out this episode with once again another commercial for Rabbit and Small Animal Rescue. And remember, if you want to help support Rabbit and Small Animal Rescue, I have a video link in the description for this episode that has a link to their homepage, and there's a PayPal link in there, so you can donate. Anything helps. Thanks, take care, bye!